Today in this video, we're going to talk about what is your why? What is your reason for wanting to be a first-time home buyer? Why do you want to buy a property? Check it out. Hi, I'm Rhonda Burgess, and I'm a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and my firm is Southern Living Realty Partners. Okay, so this is going to be the first video in this series. This is for my first-time buyers. And that could be somebody who ain't bought a house in a few years. You've never bought a house or property or whatever. So we're going to talk about, this is all going to be a series for my first time buyers. The question is why? Why do you want to be a first time buyer? Why do you want to buy a house? And I'm just going to assume that we're buying a house, not an investment property, because most of my viewers have never bought a house. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about you buying your own personal home to live in. Why? Because let me tell you something. If you don't have a strong enough why, you will quit when it gets hard. And it will get hard. I know different markets are different all over the country, but once you get beat out on a house, you walk in this house and you fall in love with this house and you're like, this is it. And you go back and you calculate and reformulate your plan and you like, this is it. And then you put in an offer and you just know your offer gonna be accepted. And then your agent tells you, no, they went with another offer. And you feel like you've been kicked in the gut. You feel like you just like, it can't be. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to believe. So again, if you do not have a strong enough why, you will quit when it gets hard. So, you may get blowed out on 3, 4, 5, 10 homes before you get one. Okay. So what is your why? Are you, is it that you want your kids in a certain school district? Okay. Is it that you are just sick and tired of apartment living? If you've been living in an apartment, you're tired of all the rules. You tired of maybe your car getting broke into if you're living in apartments or something like that. If you're living in rental property, you tired of paying. For me, I bought my first house when I was 23. I had a 2-year-old, and I bought my first house. One thing y'all need to know about me, I'm petty. I'm petty Betty. Call me Petty Betty right now. So, my baby dad at the time, was like, we had went back and forth about getting an apartment together, this, that, and the third. And he wasn't going to act right. And I wasn't finna sit up there and wait on him. Okay. And I was like, you know what? I'm a veteran. I'm finna go use my VA. I'm finna, I wasn't too far back from Desert Storm. So I was like, I'm going to use my VA. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, you ain't never gonna move. You ain't never gonna do nothing. You ain't never gonna buy no house. Bet. As the young people say these days. Bet. My second reason beyond shutting him up was that I wanted a pet, for my son. We actually start off with a cat. I love cats too. Don't get me wrong. I love cats. I'm more of a dog person now, but anyway, I wanted a pet and I didn't want nobody telling me what type of pet I could get. And I need to pay this pet deposit. I need to pay extra each month on the rent and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? It was just, no. I wanted my own. I wanted to be able to paint. I wanted to be able to change stuff that I want to change. I wanted to be able to make a place mine. I did not want a temporary place. I didn't want to be anywhere temporary anymore. That's how I felt like it was. Like living in an apartment. I had lived in one apartment and moved right across the street to another apartment. So that was my first two years, when I moved out from my parents' place. I had lived in 2 separate apartments. It was time. I wanted my own. I wanted to cut grass. Yes, I know I'm crazy. I used to like cutting grass. I really did. Until my sinuses took over. But I really used to like cutting grass. I just wanted my own. I wanted something. I wanted to be able to leave that leave that house to my son if that was what, I wanted to do or whatever, but I wanted my own. You've got to come up with your own why. Why do you want to buy this house? Like I said, is it the school zone? Is it closer to work? Is it a shorter commute? Is it you have your own little piece of the world? You know what I'm saying? That you can do whatever you want to. Maybe you want to grow some tomatoes. You want to do a garden. What is it? What is your why? You've got to determine what your why is, and you've got to decide, are you willing to go the length to get your why? Because it's going to get rough. Not only you may liable to be bid out on a house, you may find a house you really, really love, and then you find out it's in a flood zone, and the flood insurance is going to be $400 a month, and that's blowing your DTI. Are you going to quit? Are you going to give up? Okay. Still on that insurance tip. You find a house you really, really love. You pull the clue report, which we're going to go over that later in another video. You pull the clue report, and it's had all kind of claims and everything against that house, all kind of stuff, and insurance. You can't even find anybody to write a policy on that house. Are you going to quit? Are you going to be upset? Are you just going to say, well, it just must not be meant for me? Are you going to blame everybody else? Well, they just didn't want me to have it, and they didn't want me, and they. What is your why? Because they ain't done nothing. Because see, if you do your homework ahead of time, you would avoid a lot of this. But I know a lot of y'all just gonna rush right in. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and say you're gonna buy a house. But what is your why? One thing you need to realize in that why is, if this is your first house, it is exactly that, your first house. Number one, this is not the house that you would probably live in the rest of your life. I know back in the day, our grandparents and everybody, they bought a house and lived in that house for 40, 50 years. That's not how it goes these days. The average you will stay in that first house is about 5 years. Just know that. I'm not saying most people go into it planning to sell or move or none of that good stuff, but stuff happens. If you're a young person by yourself, a lot of times you end up getting a spouse or a partner or something, and then maybe y'all bring kids into it, and so you need a bigger place than the 2-bedroom you started off in. Or maybe you need to move a parent or a family member in to help take care of them. Maybe you get a job offer in a totally different state and you need to relocate. But just know that on average, you're only going to stay there. Most people only stay in their first house for 5 years. 5 years. So again, what is your why? You've got to have a conviction about it. Okay. You got to know that there are going to be sometimes, it's just like being a boxer. You're going to take some hits, but as long as you don't, and you may get knocked down, but as long as you're going to get back up, because you so focused on your why. Why do you want to be a homeowner? Why? That's the first thing you need to figure out. Don't wake up tomorrow and say, I think I might want to buy a house. No. You need to have a conviction. You need to have it deep down in your spirit that this is what you're going to do. Because this is not for, this ain't for the faint. This ain't for the faint. There's going to be a lot of money involved. You're going to be, not only your mortgage, but you also are going to have inspection. You got to pay for a home inspection and appraisals, and you may have to do a radon test, and you need a termite inspection, and you need this and you need that. Look, if you just playing, save your money and stay on the sidelines. This may not be the move for you. And let me say this too. If the thought of shelling out $1,500 in the next week or two, if you're looking at buying a house, meaning you gonna have to, you find a house, you get on the contract, you're gonna have to do that home inspection, pay for that appraisal, pay for the termite, pay for the radon. If you own a well, you may need to pay for a well test. You may need it surveyed off. It's a whole lot of things, a whole lot of costs that go into it. So if you right now at this moment, if that, and that don't even include your earnest money or your trust money, because you got to put a deposit down. So let's say it's $1,000. So if the idea that you may need to come $2,500 out of pocket with your earnest money and all of these inspections right now, then you're not ready. You need to hold up. You shouldn't even be out there looking. You got to get it deep down in your spirit. Another thing, if you are going to be taking money out your 401k, your retirement, your whatever, you getting gift funds from a family member, whatever, you getting gift funds, or you may be getting, like some of these city programs or these state programs and everything. That's a process within itself. You might need to hold up until you got all your ducks in a row. And while you're getting your ducks in a row, do you have the intestinal fortitude to still keep going? Because I'm telling you, it's not. Some transactions are smoother than others, but still, there's gonna be times when you gonna get you done gave the underwriter, you done gave the processor them everything, but something signed in blood. You know what I'm saying? You done signed over that firstborn, and he or she ain't even here yet. They ain't even a thought in your mind yet. Okay. And you done gave them bank statements, and you done went and had to find your birth certificate under your mama mattress, and you done had to do all this stuff, okay? And so then you're gonna come to a time when they're gonna turn around and ask you for the same thing over again. Are you gonna fold? Are you just gonna throw up your hands and be like, I can't do this? Oh my God, if they ask me for one more thing, that's the way you're gonna feel. That's the way you're gonna feel. If I have to talk to one more insurance person to get a quote, I can't do this. If they ask me for the blank pages of my bank statement that don't say nothing on it, like page 2, 1 is the front side, 2 is the back side, and it's just blank. It's just got those, the words and stuff on it, and it ain't got nothing to do with your money. And if they ask me for them blank pages one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? What is your why? How bad do you want it? You got to make up in your mind that you want it and that you're going to get it. Okay? So if you're not at that point where you can make that commitment to yourself and to the process, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste the real estate agent time. Don't waste the mortgage people time. Don't waste the title company time. Don't waste the insurance people time. Don't waste everybody's time. If you are not ready to walk through fire to get a house, then don't do it. Don't do it. One other thing I will say, too, that you need to once you make up your mind that this is what you're going to do, right? And you done got these ducks in a row. You done went and found W-2s from 8 years ago. I'm not saying they're going to need them, but you might want to get it. You just never know. You just never know. I'm just telling you. Be quiet. Be quiet. Hush. Once you've made up in your mind, then listen, you don't need to tell everybody. Everybody don't need to know your business. You know the saying, loose lips sink ships. It do. Because I'm not saying that somebody will be like, somebody's going to, tell lies on you or whatever. What I'm telling you is you're going to hear so much negativity from them people that you think are down for you. I'm not saying all of them, but you can't tell. It's some friends you can't tell, and it's some family you can't tell, because they gonna rain on your parade, and then they gonna put that doubt in your mind, and then you gonna be right back like, I don't know if I'll do this. Now see, you done talk to yourself and done hyped yourself up into, I'm ready, I got my stuff together. I watched Rhonda's video. I know it's going to be some bull hockey that's coming down the pipeline, but I know I'm going to do this because this is what's important to me. Then hush, don't tell nobody. Move in silence. That's the only thing I can tell you, because the haters will come out, and sometimes people don't, I feel like people may not necessarily be hating on you or raining on your parade, because what they're doing is projecting their fears on you because you tell your sister cousin or your cousin or that good coworker, your work bestie or whatever, right? And you telling them, yeah, I'm finna get me a house, girl. You know what? I done prayed over it. I got my stuff together. I finally got my student loan straight, or I got my money straight, or I got my credit straight, whatever. And I'm finna do this. Watch what people say. Just get quiet, because they're going to tell you, girl, I wouldn't do that. Girl, you seen these interest rates. You should have bought, 5 years ago when the rates was in the 2s and 3s. I wouldn't do this. Or, girl, you crazy. Or you going to sit up there and say, okay, well, yeah, I'm getting ready to buy me a house. You all excited. I got approved for 325. I'm just throwing a number out here. I don't know your market. I don't know what's up. Okay. I'm just saying, you gonna say, oh girl, I'm finna do it. I got approved for 325. Girl, is that all? Where you finna live at? You finna be in the hood, ain't you? Now, do you see how that can be so deflating to your ego? That can just rain on your parade. Get quiet. Don't nobody need to know what you're doing. Don't nobody need to know what you done made up in your mind. Don't nobody need to know nothing about your situation. What you do is invite them to the housewarming when you done moved in. Because see, in the minute you say, okay, girl, y'all got approved 325 and I want to be in this school district, or I'm trying to get closer to work or whatever. One day they can be like, yeah, girl, I want to move to Green Acres. I'm just throwing out a name of a supposed neighborhood, because I'm old and I used to like Green Acres. But anyway, you can be, you and your girl, or you and your dude, or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Y'all could be, we ride through Green Acres on our lunch hour. We love it over there. Yeah, we would love to be over there. Watch what I tell you. The first time you tell that person that, yeah, girl, I got approved 325 and I'm straight finna be up in Green Acres. And then Green Acres is the hood, it's ghetto, it's nasty, it's dirty, it's no good. Why you want to be over there? They're going to be asking you to do everything and check what's wrong with you, girl? No. Honey, I wouldn't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the two things that you need to do before we even get to the credit and all that good stuff, we're going to get to that in further videos. But what you need to do is figure out what your why is. Are you committed to that why? Are you committed to go through the process? Is this, you need to make sure you burn that bridge, because you can't go back that way. If you're going to do this, are you committed to get it done? Are you ready to go walk through fire to get it? Are you ready to get disappointed, get your feelings hurt a few times before you get there? Are you ready to feel like you losing your mind if they ask you for a blank piece of paper one more time? Do you have the intestinal fortitude to do that? Yes or no? If you say yes, if you have that meat, you go in your prayer closet and you done prayed over it, and you done your homework, and you made up in your mind this is what you're gonna do. The next thing you need to do is be quiet. Don't say a mumbling word to nobody about what you're doing. Move in silence until you get it. Then invite them over. Because, see, they can say whatever negative they want to, because they're going to talk about you anyway. You know that, right? They're going to talk about you anyway. Because when they come to the housewarming, they're going to talk about you anyway. They're going to talk about your house. But, see, you let them talk after the fact, because then they didn't destroy your dream. They didn't upset you. They didn't throw you off your game. Move in silence. So, again, make up your mind. What is your why? And move in silence. Again, my name is Rhonda Burgess, and I'm a real estate broker and mortgage underwriter here in the Nashville, Tennessee area. If you are needing to buy or sell a home here in the Nashville area, please give me a call. I'd be glad to help you. If you are needing a real estate agent in another state, there will be a link down below where you can sign up, and we will get you connected with a real estate pro in your area. Also, I will have the information for Matt down there with South Lake Mortgage if you are at the point where you're needing to get a mortgage. Again, I will be continuing this series on Wednesdays and Sundays for my first time buyers. Thank you, and as always, have a blessed day.